Welcome back to our live coverage of the women's games. We seem to have some technical difficulties earlier, so we do want to give you guys some updates on what happened in our first match, first set of the match.
So the first set, the West took over. Second set of the championship match here at San Jose State University, where the West is now leading 9-3, and that was Gabby Talavera with that last kill, scoring their 9th point, which extends their leads to 13 kills on the west side and 6 kills on the east side. Number 15, Zoe with the tip, goes back to outside to Gabby and is still kept alive. Amanda Vulong with her 5th kill of the match, hitting on an open net. Now the reason why that happened was the middle blocker from the East Coast went up with Jackie Salonga.
Yes.
However, Jackie, the setter, is in the back row. Can you explain why it's so important as a blocker to know whether if the setter is front row or back row?
Yes, if the setter is back row and you're going to try to block her, the likelihood of her dumping the ball is a little bit lower. So you have to really know what it seems to be her intentions are. You have to anticipate a dump, but not necessarily block her every move, because if she doesn't dump it, then you will no longer have the opportunity to block an upcoming hit off of an overpass, which is what just happened in that previous play right before this one that just ended.
And the joust won by Ali Dabu, number 4, because number 23, Danielle Santos, was in the net. The ball kept alive by the East Coast, another free ball opportunity, and another swing by Ali Dabu, chased down by the East Coast, and another free ball opportunity for the West. Let's see what they do. A dump opportunity, however, that was mishandled. Now, why would that call be called?
Yes, well, as a setter, when you mishandle the ball, it is called a double, and that's essentially when the ball leaves one hand before the other, and that's what creates that call right there.
So technically, at some point in the contact, you actually are touching the ball twice.
Yes. Yes, that's what it is in technicality.
And Gabby Talavera with the huge swing from the outside, with now 4 kills for her in the match. Back to serve is Gabby Talavera, which brings our kill leader of the match, Melinda, back to the front row.
Beautiful serve.
Kept alive by the East. A free ball opportunity for the West. Another dump, however, dug up. Back to the outside to Zoe with a dump kill, almost a kill. Melinda to the... Oh, kept alive by the West. Valencia, that was a great swing. Back to Valencia. Kept alive. Melinda with the swing, just a little outside by Melinda Alavia. A point goes to the East, which tightens up the lead, 6-12. The East trails by 6. Again, in the second set here in the Unity Games.
Yes. And you know, it is very important to note that the energy in the gym right now is so amazing. Everybody is cheering from all sides of the stands. It is electric in here.
Absolutely. Another set to Ali Dabu. Goes to the outside, kept alive. Another set to Melinda. And a net violation kill by Melinda Alavia.
Nice kill, sister.
Now, Melinda has a lot of kills because she is getting a lot of one-on-one opportunities at the net.
Yes.
Again, their middle is only going up once, or there's only one blocker against Melinda, and she has a lot of options going to the angle, going to the line, and she did get that line kill. Another tip opportunity kept alive by Melinda. The East Coast can't seem to find the floor. A swing, or actually a tip over, back to the middle, and a stop block by Elsie Valencia. With a huge stop block. Hopefully this would be a momentum changer in the match. The East trails 7-13.
Yes, and you know, sometimes that's all it takes to bring the momentum into the game. So we shall see how the East Coast continues in this set.
Another nice run.
And that was another kill by Melinda, which is actually called a tool block.
Yes.
So what is a tool block?
A tool block is actually when you hit into the blocker's hands and it goes out or back onto their own side into the court, which then gives that team the point. So essentially, they're using the block as a tool to score.
Right, so it's just like in baseball where you're pitching, you don't necessarily have to hit the strike zone all the time.
That's correct.
You know, you could just hit it off the defenders, make them touch it last, and score the points from there.
Exactly.
Another huge kill by Elsie Valencia of the East.
Yes, and that actually went right through that block. So, you know, how important is it, Kit, to close your block in games like this?
It is very important to stay disciplined in defense, keeping track of who is hitting, so that you don't get juked out by the setter. You can have double block opportunities for the East, and an awkward kill by Melinda, but a kill is a kill, a point is a point in the volleyball world.
So that one actually just rolled right off the tape.
How about some more noise from the home crowd?
Now we're in the rotation 5 for the East Coast, where they seemed to struggle last time. Now, rotation 5 is when, again, the setter is in the front row, and the setter only has 2 options. So she didn't use any of her hitter options there, decided to dump, and another one-on-one opportunity. Set goes to the outside. A big swing, another huge dig by the East, goes back to the outside, and down the line goes Talavera with her 5th kill of the match, extending their lead 16-8 here in the finals of the Continental Unity Games.
Yes, so if you're just now joining us, we are reporting live from the INC Continental Unity Games of the Women's Volleyball Championship, where the West Coast won the first set of the match. We are now in the second set, and like Kit just said, the score is 16-8 with the West in the lead.
Just a little long by Jennifer Estrada. Point goes to the East, 9-16.
Getting quiet over there.
Again, they are now in rotation 6. Still have 2 option hitters. Back serving is number 13, Gabby Talabong. She holds 3 kills in the match. Again, a transition play and a kill by, that was number 15, Zoe Talabong. They could not keep the ball in control after she swung at it, so therefore it counts as a kill.
Yes.
The crowd is electric here at
Yes,
San
it
Jose State
very much
University.
is.
Serve goes up to the libero. Set goes to the outside to Gabby. Double block. And just a bit outside. So if you notice on that last play, there was actually 2 blockers on Gabby, which makes Gabby, the outside hitter, think a little bit about where to place her hits.
Yes.
So she actually tried to go over, but you know,
did go a little too long.
it forced the ball to go outside
Yes.
and point to the East, 11-16 here in the finals. Serve back to libero. Amanda comes around, mistimed opportunity. Again, goes back to the outside, and a kill down the line, touched by Zoe Talabong, which extends her kill count to 4, with East having just scoring their 10th kill of the match.
So Kit, what can you say about the difference between the 2 teams' defensive strategies as you're seeing?
I feel like the East are struggling a little bit on defense, obviously, because they've allowed 15 kills of the West. It seems like, and another kill by Melinda, which gives her 10th kill and her 16th team kill.
And that one was actually from the back row, and she did get that kill at that point.
Timeout called by the East Coast, and this gives us an opportunity to explain what sort of difference the defenses are being played. Now, as you've been keeping up with the entire match, the East Coast has been giving a lot of good swings. However, the West is making some good reads and getting some balls up, and even made some scrappy plays.
Yes,
even though that the ball is out of control, they still find a way to keep the ball in control, send it over, and find a way to score.
Yes, so when they're going into out-of-system plays, they are able to continue their offense along with that defense. Whereas on the East Coast, they are struggling a little bit to continue getting that set out to their hitters off of the out-of-system passes.
Good. Now the match is now 17-12. The East just called their second timeout in volleyball. Teams only have 2 timeouts per set. Estrada back to serve into the net. And now that's what we call a coach's point. A coach's point is when the coach calls a timeout and the server misses the serve in the point. So it's not necessarily, so basically the server was iced by the coach.
So the timeout was really more of a strategic timeout.
And yes, we have a strategic timeout. Yes, and we just got an ace from the setter, Vida Valencia, who is now in the back row. Now the East has 3 option hitters with the setter in the back row. So hopefully the East can find some more momentum going into the second set. So set block tip goes, another tip block, another dump, another swing opportunity for the East, and does not find the floor. And that's what we were talking about earlier. Finding a way to keep the ball off the floor.
Yes, and having the patience not to cheer until you hear that whistle. And a double call.
Mishandled call. In my opinion, a little bit too tight. But again, it's the ref's decision, and the play must go on. So again, an untimely error for the East, and hopefully they can bounce back from that. And they do.
And they do. There was a miss serve by Amanda Vuong on the West side, number 11. The score right now is 18-15 with the West in the lead, and East Coast is about to serve with number 23, Danielle Santos.
West opportunities with the swing at the outside, and a tool block by Gabby Talavera, her 6th kill of the match. Again, using the block to the advantage.
Yes, so that actually went into number 21. Number 21, Elsie Valencia's hands and onto their own court, which is what allowed them to score the point for the West Coast.
Talabong with the free ball swing. Back to the middle. Dabu with the block, covered by the setter. And another opportunity here. Goes up to the middle. Standing down ball. Kill by Elsie Valencia. East Coast with the point. Elsie Valencia, that is her 3rd kill of the match, which brings their total kills to 11.
And you know, Kit, that was very fortunate that they were able to score off that point. But if you notice, they actually had a little miscommunication because she did go in early to hit a faster hit, whereas the setter put it up a little bit higher. So how important is communication when you're running an offense like this?
You know, volleyball is not a country club sport. It's not like golf or tennis where you have to be quiet. There has to be a lot of communication going on within the players. I always say, as a coach to my players, if you are not talking on the floor, no matter if you're touching the ball or not, you are doing something wrong. So communication is very crucial in the game of volleyball.
Yes.
And a missed pass by the East Coast. Now, again, if you notice that last play, the setter had to set the ball. If she had sent the ball over, it would have been a back row violation because she is technically in the back row. Passed perfectly by number 15. Swung, and a dump by Jackie Salonga. Goes back to Melinda. One-on-one. Dug up, kept in play. Overpass, and a net violation by Elsie Valencia, which gives the West a big lead, 22-16, here in the finals at San Jose State University of the Continental Unity Games. Ali Dabu now back to serve. Kept alive, goes back to Elsie, and again they just keep reading their tips. I find it very hard to score against the West Coast. Again, the East Coast is making a lot of good plays. However, it is just so hard to find the floor against those guys.
Yes, the West Coast's defense is very scrappy. They are reading the hitters very well.
An out-of-system pass here. An out-of-system swing kept alive by the East. And a swing in the... But a block by Elsie Valencia.
Number 21.
Which hopefully keeps the East Coast hopes alive here in the finals. Number 12 is back to serve, Giselle Luna. Overpass and put away by Elsie Valencia out of the East. And Mike Salonga, the head coach of the West, calls a substitution, calls in Melinda Alavia and subs in for Katrina Inez, who was actually a starter of the game. Again, 18-23, East Coast trails. Giselle Luna with the serve. A dump opportunity and a dump kill by Jackie Salonga. Again, because Jackie is in the front row, she is allowed to dump.
Yes, she is. And she can actually also go up and attack the ball if she's given the opportunity. So being a front row setter does give her a lot of opportunities to play as a more offensive setter, but being in the back row also gives her a lot of opportunities to create a very strong offense for her team with 3 hitters.
And two miscommunications by the East Coast on the last plays with the free ball miss. Again, keeping the ball alive here. Let's get a bug block. Another kill by Amanda Vuong. That is her 6th kill of the match, ending the set 25-18. Where now the West Coast leads 2-0.
Yes, so in the first set, the West Coast won 25-10, and the second set they won 25-18. So it is best out of 5. They do have to win 3 full sets to 25 to win this match.
All right, so as the teams changes courts, now Julianne, you actually, I think we had an audio mishap the last match.
Yes, we did.
Right,
yes.
and you asked me about my volleyball experience, correct?
I believe so. Yes, you did.
So one of my volleyball experience is that I do coach high school. I'm a high school volleyball coach. I coach club volleyball, and I also play a little tournaments here and there where my team actually won the state championship 2 years ago.
That's amazing. That's such a great accomplishment. And you know, whether you're playing in professional sports or playing in tournaments like this one, playing volleyball is really just like an amazing thing. And it's all about the community and the culture that you're building.
Absolutely. I like to call volleyball as a lifetime sport.
Yes.
And the reason why is because people of all ages can play the sport of volleyball.
That's very true.
There are leagues out there that are strictly for 76 years and older.
Wow.
Somewhere here in the United States. So again, you can play volleyball until you are older than 76 years old.
That's very true. And you know, volleyball is such a great sport, and I'm sure many sports are equally as great, but I know from my own experience in volleyball, you do learn a lot of life skills, a lot of team building skills, a lot of leadership skills. So it is a lifetime sport and also a lifestyle. It is a great culture here in the volleyball world. I think we missed it earlier, but Kit and I actually met in the volleyball world, and we've met so many friends playing volleyball. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Yes, volleyball is such a culture and a lifestyle sport which brings all these people together from all different ages and races and nationalities, and we are here all together at the San Jose State University for the volleyball match. So
yes,
we are going to take a short break, and up next we will go into set 3.
Set number 3.
Here in the Continental Unity Games Finals here at San Jose State University.
Yes, so make sure you guys stay tuned right here on Eagle News Live for more live updates from the INC Continental Unity Games.